All right. Welcome to 10 Tech Entrepreneurs Nebraska, brought to you by the Nebraska Tech Collaborative, powered by the Exarban Foundation. I'm working on slowing down my talking because I do not need to speed through everything. But I'm Shauna Dorsey, the Executive Director of the Nebraska Tech Collaborative and Interim Executive Director of Intern Any, powered by Exarban. Today, I'm here with my guest. I'm so used to saying co host, but he's not here, obviously.
I can be a co-host for a day if you really
Yeah.
want me to.
Okay. This
Yeah.
actually, we've tried this before. It worked well. But with my guest, and you are.
I am Laurel Oetken. I am the founding executive director of Tech Nebraska, which is a newer organization that launched in partnership with the Nebraska Chamber of Commerce and Industry in August of 2023. So just a few months ago.
That is outstanding.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm excited to chat with you. But before we get into it, quick rundown of how 10 works. It is like a 10-minute podcast. I say 10-ish now because we have had a few that were over 10 minutes. So
Okay.
now I have to say 10-ish minutes. But we do not edit or anything. We just release as is, and it's super fun. So this may or may not be the second
Sure.
take, but it's right now first take.
Sounds
So
great.
anyway, great to have you here. So can you tell us a bit about how you decided that this was your path? Like, how did you get here?
Yeah. So born in Omaha, Nebraska. I'm a Nebraskan, I should say, for life. Will still continue to live here as long as the opportunity presents itself. But I kind of stumbled into tech actually in the path that I was on. When I graduated from high school, I had the dream and ambition to become a broadcast journalist. So
Hmm,
went to the University of Nebraska Lincoln, partially on scholarship, partially because it was the best opportunity for me. But went there again with the bullish idea that I was going to go into broadcast journalism, studied that, but found a few other passions along the way. Had an internship in the news industry in Omaha and realized, I don't know if this is really the right long term fit for me. So changed my path a little bit, got a bit more heavy handed in the political science and business side of things. Loved experience at the University of Nebraska, go Huskers. But took kind of a weird and interesting path. I was applying for jobs all over the Midwest and all over the country, had a couple of offers in other states, and a friend and a mentor at the time said, "Hey, I'm working for this really cool startup in Omaha called Flywheel." Had no idea, had never heard of it. She had said, "Do you think you might be interested in seeing what opportunities could look like here?" And of course, trusting that source, your network is everything, right?
yep.
Decided to take a chance. So interviewed and then started working at Flywheel. I was their first marketing project manager, kind of operational hire in that space, and stayed on there through the time in which they were acquired, and loved that experience. Working in the startup world, as you know, well, Shauna, is a world class opportunity to have exposure into lots of different spaces. So was there, went to work for a traditional advertising agency. A lot of my clients were the not so sexy clients in the senior care and aging industries, and more of your financial services industry types of clients. And then found my way to the Omaha Chamber, which is where I was at most recently. So,
Yeah.
kind of a fun career experience, but loved the experience and the path, and really loved the time that I spent at the Omaha Chamber too,
Hmm.
really supporting startups in the Omaha area and Omaha community.
That is fantastic.
Yeah,
And what's so interesting is we've had many guests on this show now. I don't know how many so far, but we've had many former flywheelers here, like Karen
I'm sure.
Borchert, Derek Homan, Dusty Davidson's been on. So it's just really cool to see that each of you have, and not, I have not met every flywheeler, of course, but of the ones we've met, just you all are doing such amazing things in our community and continuing to add a ton of value. So that is so cool to see.
Yeah, and I think, I would attribute a lot of that to the way that Dusty, Rick, Tony, and the rest of the leadership team at Flywheel thought about hiring. I think they
Mhm.
were very intentional around the set of values and the culture that they were building in an organization. I think they're a leading example, right, of what
Yeah.
organizations can do to hire incredible talent and to keep them under that umbrella. But you're right. I mean, good friends of mine are still spread out all across Nebraska. Some have spread their wings to do other things, but I'd say for the most part, it's really incredible to see the paths that folks that touch that organization are now on.
Yeah, It's so cool. Okay, so tell us about Tech Nebraska and what y'all are focused on.
Yeah.
We'll start there, and then I'm really interested too in like how people can get involved.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I mentioned in opening, Tech Nebraska launched in August of this year. We were really kind of built and shaped to be Nebraska's first official tech trade association. So, if you're not as familiar, a lot of industries or specific sectors will have an association in which organizations that align toward that interest or industry can participate and become members. So, we saw an opportunity and kind of saw a gap, especially compared to peer states, that Nebraska is falling behind. Our neighbor right across the river, Iowa, has had a tech trade association for decades now, and we are just getting started with at least a formal version of this. So geared at being a membership-based organization, but I think what differentiates and likely will set us apart is the capacity that we'll have and that we'll continue to build out in the advocacy and public policy space.
Hmm.
And tech policy, right? It's broad, it's
Yeah.
far reaching, but it's anything from infrastructure. So thinking about fiber connectivity, right, across the full state of Nebraska, to education, working with Nebraska Tech Collaborative on workforce related issues. So I think we'll cover the full gamut of tech
Hmm.
related issues, but really, I think on behalf of our membership, on behalf of on the I would say on behalf of, I should say, the community in Nebraska, just being a voice in this space and really
Hmm.
having kind of a well thought out plan of how we continue to advance the state forward via pro growth, pro business policy.
Yeah.
We'll do fun things here and there. We'll have some events spread out throughout the duration of the year, but it's been fun. We're very much in startup mode and
Yeah.
continuing to build and scale.
So exciting. So, there's a lot there, obviously, and I
Yeah.
know you're just getting started. But what are some things that you're most excited about with this new role?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally,
Hmm.
the opportunity to get a little bit more engaged in the policy side of things, it's a passion and a sweet spot for me. Some of my background kind of spoke to that, but to get to be in that space and working with policymakers and really shaping what I think has a huge opportunity to make longstanding impact for Nebraska is huge. And I would say too, we have a unique opportunity to build this organization intentionally. So
Hmm.
with that in mind, having anywhere from your global, large international tech companies down to your emerging startups
Hmm.
participate and engage, which for me is just really exciting. And I think there's opportunity to continue to do that and do that at scale.
That's so awesome. Okay, so I know that you have an event coming up, which we'll get to. Is there anything like immediate that you can think of with in as far as ways that people can engage or businesses can support what you're planning?
Yeah, I would say right now, if you are interested, it's as simple as reaching out to me and let's set up some time to grab coffee and to connect. I would say, especially for businesses, organizations, nonprofits, if there is an interest in the advocacy side of things, even if you think it might relate to tech or might be adjacent, we're interested in learning more about that and seeing how we can support. We're building out a website as we speak, and our social media channels will launch, fingers crossed, within the next week or so. So you can connect with us in the virtual world as well. But I just say, best opportunity right now is just to get connected and stay connected as we continue to build out what we're going to be doing and how we will engage the community at large.
Okay, perfect. So with a minute left, can you tell us a little bit about your upcoming summit?
Yes, so we are hosting a tech and innovation summit called the Tech Nebraska Summit on Tuesday, November 28th. We'll start it at around 9 a.m. It'll close around 1:30. We've got a couple of really cool panels, one that will be focused on tech policy. We've got some out-of-state folks to coming in to provide a little bit different perspective on just what tech policy means. We will also have a panel featuring some of Omaha's best and brightest chief technology officers, which we're really excited about. And we have a fantastic keynote speaker that's coming in from Google based in Silicon Valley. We're really excited about that. So stay tuned and check out
Stay
more
tuned.
details. The keynote alone is going to be just a really great experience for all Nebraskans to participate in.
Yes, and it's always great to have an outsider come in and experience Nebraska too, because there's
Absolutely.
obviously some misperceptions here. So the more we can
Yeah.
break that down and eliminate those barriers, the better.
Yeah, we're
So
excited. It's going to be a fun time. So hope to see you in Lincoln at the
yes,
Embassy Suites on Tuesday, November 28th.
awesome. We will definitely share that info in
Thank
the
you. Yeah.
post notes. And thank you for being here. This has been
Thanks for having
great,
me.
and more to come from NCC and Tech
Yes,
Nebraska.
so
We will
excited
be
for
working together.
collaborations.
It's gonna be
Yes.
so fun.
It's gonna be so fun. Can't wait,
Thank you,
honestly.
Laurel.
Yep. Yes, thank you.
Mhm.